Hello, Starlit Souls. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely, lovely evening. I just wanted to have like a relaxing, calm video, soft-spoken, where I'm reading excerpts of my book to you. So, this is the book. The image is just a stock photo. Hold on, I'm going to turn this light off that I have here. Yeah, we don't need that on. It's called The Lighthouse, a journey through 365 days of self-love. So you can hear a bit about what it's about and decide if you want to continue watching this video. Okay. Do you hear those sirens right now? I think it's a car alarm. Really? Oh no, it's a house alarm. It's definitely a house alarm. Okay, so I'm going to read you some excerpts from this, and I hope you enjoy. If anything, you'll at least enjoy the soft speaking, maybe. Okay, so this is my table of contents. So I did a self-love challenge for a whole year. So like every day I would just tell myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, repeatedly, hundreds of times a day, because I had a really negative mind and I like bullied myself a lot. So by day 5 of self-love, I felt so free that I had to write about it. So the titles of all the chapters are the names of like each blog that I wrote. So there's 2 pages. And then I have this quote by Albert Einstein. It says, "The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination." Okay, I'm gonna read the first page for sure, just to like kind of give you the backstory about why I went on this journey. I'm not gonna hold it like this because that's kind of annoying, so I'm just gonna hold it down here. So this first one I called Introduction. And the book in total is 202 pages. It's quite an easy read, like it's not super crazy small font or anything like that. 80 days ago today, I made a pact with myself. A pact that has already begun to change my life in ways I never could have imagined. And it all started with one loving thought. It was 2 days before my 28th birthday, and I had been cycling through the usual mind-battling dilemmas that society inflicts upon us everywhere we turn these days. I had been struggling with not knowing what path to take in life. Within the last 2 years, I had tried and failed going vegan, cutting out wheat products, and eliminating sugar from my diet to see if I could find the inner peace that I truly sought and to get my physical and emotional issues on track after hearing some discouraging news from my family doctor about a physical skin condition that I had developed. No matter what I did, my mind was always out to sabotage me. I would never get more than 2 or 3 days into a new diet before my own mind would harass me to quit, to fail, and to stop depriving it of the things it so loved, until I would finally just cave in and life would find me in a pile of candy wrappers and takeout containers by the end of the night. Diet failure after diet failure, I suddenly felt like I was at a crossroad. I somehow knew that this bully voice in my head that was always telling me I was a failure was just not working for me anymore. I was utterly sick and tired of constantly obsessing over food and how it could be the possible culprit of my worsening skin condition. It was all I thought about. I was growing tired with my daily agenda of self-victimization and self-pity. So on April 21st, 2014, I took a bath to ease my physical pain, and in my lowest moment, I finally gave in and cried out to the universe, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't even know what to call it at the time. What do you want from me? Can't you see how lost I am? What am I supposed to do here? And in the stillness, can you hear the wind outside? Sorry. And in the stillness, it's kind of cozy actually. Okay. And in the stillness beyond my mind, I heard a soft, knowing voice. It told me, just start loving yourself. With that one thought, my world felt like it was at a literal standstill. What do you mean, just love myself? What, with all the flaws I have? How is that even possible? How do I learn to love the things about my body that have caused me so much pain in the past? In the first week of following my intuition and consciously deciding to just start loving myself, life began to show me just how truly lovable I am. I felt something enter my life that I had never felt before. Grace. When grace enters your being, you become a vessel through which love can flow freely. By finally choosing to put down my armor and surrender my lifelong feelings of unworthiness and self-hatred, I became free. Okay, so we're still in the first chapter, but this next part, I say before you continue reading this book any further, I invite you to begin injecting the phrase, I love myself, into your mind right now, right this moment, and to join me on your own 365-day journey to self-love. I am so excited to share with you the secret key to happiness and inner peace that I have now discovered. Below are 6 of the simplest steps you can take to begin developing self-love today. Also, I am not a professional. I'm not a therapist, but I had never been this happy in my life until I discovered self-love. It literally did change my life. So 1, compliment yourself every time you see your reflection in a window or mirror. So these are things that I would do. Instead of the usual negative self-talk you may give yourself when you see your reflection, for example, I wish I was thinner, or oh, another wrinkle or pimple. Compliment your reflection. Be kind to it. Tell your reflection it is the cutest thing you have ever seen. When you feel a negative thought about yourself come into your mind, instantly catch it where it enters and replace it with a loving thought. Extend the initial thought of, oh, a huge pimple, and add, but I love myself anyway. Constantly remind yourself, I love myself, anytime you feel negativity arise in your mind. As you do your daily tasks, affirm, I love myself, anytime you feel an undesirable emotion enter your mind or body. Anger, guilt, jealousy, resentment, worry, sadness, falling under victim mentality. Remind yourself that although you may be feeling or perceiving a negative energy or emotion, love will enter your mind the moment you invite it to. Set a daily alarm on your phone to go off at the same time every day. Set the alarm to say, have you loved yourself today? This is a great way to remember to give yourself a daily dose of self-love. Even if you only remember to tell yourself you love yourself for 5 minutes a day, it is still a huge step. This is vital and so easy. Number 4, since you will be forming a more intimate, loving relationship with yourself, you will start to notice life is opening up and speaking to you more. You will begin to notice signs and synchronicities in your daily life, and you may second guess yourself at first, but you will come to realize on your own that yes, in fact, life is speaking to you. Inform the people closest to you, this is number 5, that you are embarking on this journey to self-love. They may question your antics, but they are just curious. Eventually, they will see how it is helping you, so they will get on board with the idea. As well, begin to consciously remove yourself from negative people or situations and remove people who keep bringing up your past failures. You may need to sit down with some people in your life and let them know their negativity will no longer be accepted around you. Negative energy can bring everyone down, So it is important to remember to love yourself when you are around negative people or situations in order to ground yourself and detach from their negativity. And number 6, this is the last one. Leave pushy thoughts alone for now. They are quite aware that the mind they currently reside in has just had a light shone upon it, and they are very annoyed. They are going to put up every last attempt to keep the light from shining on them, that light being your awareness. When you encounter these stubborn thoughts, and you will, trust me, send them love. Remind yourself you are not bad for having those thoughts, and go on with your day. Love will heal all of those thoughts in time. So the next post that I'll read you, or chapter that I'll read you, was written on day 8 of my challenge, and it's called The First Seedlings of Self-Love, April 29, 2014. I used to live in fear that my next binge session was waiting for me around the corner. Just one bad thought about myself was enough to take a week-long effort of trying to eat healthy and throw it down the drain with a guilt-ridden sugar binge. I couldn't ever possibly succeed at losing weight. I had failed my entire life. That's who I was. I am actually good at failing, my ego would cry out. But I have since decided I am no longer allowing that fearful force to direct my life. It finally silenced itself this week when I was flipping through some old journals and I came across a list of words I had jotted down 2 years ago. They were words I had been called by others and myself for my entire life. They were horrible, demeaning words I had built my entire past on, and they were still cycling through my mind on a daily basis, unconsciously creating a life that I no longer believed in. I believe that is where my inner unhappiness was stemming from. The fact that my soul knew happiness was within reach the whole time, if only I had not been so entertained by the false ideologies of my ego my whole life. I made another decision in that moment. I flipped to a new page in the journal. I took those 40 hateful words, and I wrote down the opposite word. I wrote down more loving, now suitable words to describe myself with. I decided in that moment that I would base my new life on those loving words and those words only. Words like success, healthy, happy, kind, deserving, abundant, and valuable. Words that were not in my vocabulary for a large chunk of my life, and evidently it showed. I used to pray to the universe to take my demons or bad thoughts from me. I did not want to have them, but I had no idea how I could get rid of them. I thought there was something I could physically do to make myself feel better, but nothing was working. I tried everything, but my constant failures were like a slap in the face. I used to wish that I would just wake up one day and the bad feeling in my mind would be gone. The heavy, dark, lingering presence that would tell me the moment I woke up that I was going to dread the day ahead. The one that would tell me it was pointless taking any time to get ready in the morning because I would never look cute enough anyway. There was no point in dieting because binging was inevitable. As soon as I felt the cravings rise up in my mind, I could not open the cupboard doors fast enough. All I was doing was looking for ways to feed the self-hate and guilt that had grown deep roots within me, unconsciously giving them sustenance to keep them strong. I always wondered what it would be that would finally save me. It is ironic now how I have come to find that I am the only thing that could save myself, no matter how hard I looked for solutions in my external world. The answer only ever lay within me, and nowhere else. Now that I know this truth, there is nothing I can't do. I cannot stop telling myself how much I love myself. For someone who has been starved of self-love for a lifetime, this feels like a coming home for me, I have so much to celebrate, and I thank the universe for helping me to correct the misperceptions I had about myself. I now know that love is the only force that can take on fear. It was only by consciously deciding to fully accept myself, flaws and all, that my ego decided to put down its sword and just stop fighting. That is truly amazing when a dark force surrenders to a light force. Yet we see it every morning. When the sun comes out and envelops the wounded world under his warm embrace, a new day is always upon us, letting us learn and love under his direction. Love and light, Heather. Okay, I'm going to find another one. Just give me a second. Okay, this next one I'm going to read you is an example of a synchronicity that I experienced. I remember experiencing this to this day. Okay, so this was on day 61, and I called this post is called Spider's Spirit, and it was June 21, 2014. I experienced an amazing, wonderful, and magical synchronicity yesterday, and I can't wait to tell you about it. This past weekend, my friend mentioned to me how she always thought her spirit animal was a hawk. I have notes on spirit animals at home, so I told her I would check the meaning of what a hawk symbolized, and I would let her know. Fast forward to yesterday. I had just gotten home from work and was curled up on the couch by my sunny living room window reading a book. A few lines in, I noticed that one of the book's contributors mentioned that her spirit animal is a spider. Before reading any further, I suddenly realized that I had forgotten to look up the meaning of my friend's spirit animal like I told her I would. I threw the book down on the couch and ran to get my notes. As I was flipping through them, the spider spirit animal meaning popped out at me from one of the pages, and I remembered the book had just mentioned the spider totem, so I decided to go ahead and read what it symbolized, just for fun. It said, Spider's spirit comes to us to remind us to take some time to reflect and search within through writing and journaling, to work on writing or creative projects, or to complete a current writing project. I just got goosebumps. Well, it just so happens that the day before, as I was walking up my doorstep coming home from work, I noticed an oddly large spider hanging out an inch from my doorknob. It looked like a mini tarantula, so there was no way I was going to try and kill it. I was stomping and pounding other parts of the door to try and get it to fall to the ground, but it wouldn't budge. I actually stood on my porch for a good 2 minutes, wondering how I would get into my house. Common sense eventually kicked in, and I entered the house through the side door instead. Yesterday, after I read the meaning of spider's spirit and then remembered seeing the spider on my front door the day before, I thought, okay, I will finish my book. Message received loud and clear. Or so I thought. I just went back to the couch and picked up my book to continue reading again, only to find a tiny red spider crawling across the page. Love and light, Heather. I remember exactly how I felt when I saw the red spider. It felt like magic. Like it was insane. This whole book is filled with synchronicities like that because I had literally opened up a line of communication with the universe, I felt like, and it was communicating with me through signs and just symbols in my environment. Anyway, you might be sleeping by now, so I'm just going to end the video. But if you want me to read you more excerpts from my book, let me know, comment down below. Okay, so I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go head out for the night. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Love and light.